What's up, guys? Let me just fix this here for a sec. Really good start. Really happy to be back out here with the guys. I didn't sleep much last night. Looking forward to it. It's been a long time coming. Just to have the chance to get back out here and play football was awesome. A ton of energy today. Obviously, we have work to do, but really great start. High energy. Kids are locked in. The one thing I did want to mention is in my last press conference, I talked to you guys about, the job our strength staff has done and the players. Where I failed to mention was our athletic trainers and doctors. Dr. Naz, Dr. Camo, our trainer, Mike Vigno, Emma. They've just done such a good job making sure that we're able to be where we are today. And their job's really hard right now and all the precautions they've taken. And I just want to give them a lot of credit. I failed to do that in my press conference last week, and I apologize for that. But they've done a really good job. They have a really hard job right now, and I know we all appreciate them. So I'm fired up to take any of your questions, and we can let it go right now.
Start things off with Rich.
Hey, Coach, it was good seeing you the other day. I forgot you were a real person, so it was.
Yeah, I saw Rich live at the hockey game. I walked by him, and it was like I was on another planet or something.
There we go. Hey, I know it was the first day, but on Thursday, the ACC came out and announced that the Jay McGillis game was going to be televised on the network. I just, just talk about having the chance to showcase what you're building for fans that probably couldn't get to the stadium because of the COVID restrictions.
Yeah, I'm excited that we get a chance to get it on TV and, show people what we have. I'm still kind of hopeful we'll get some people in the stands, Rich, to create some excitement and, see what we're all about. Just give those guys a chance to, maybe catch a glimpse of the future. But I'm excited, Rich. Anytime we can get people to see what we're doing, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You're on mute, Rich.
Quick follow on that. Have you devised a format for it yet? Can you share a few details on how you want to conduct the spring game?
No, Rich, I had enough. I spent so much time just thinking about today, making sure we did it right. I'll think about that eventually. If you got any good ideas for me, Rich, let me know.
We'll go next to Andy.
Hey, Jeff. Hope you're doing
well. Andy.
I know in the summer, you took the OTA approach to training camp where you alternated some of the more intense and shorter practices. I was just wondering, is the spring going to be the same or is there a different approach for these 15 practices?
No, we only get 3 a week. We only get 15. So these will be the longest practices that we have. Just because the space, the recovery time in between, and we have a lot of work to do. So these are going to be long. They're going to be hard. And we got to get a lot of work done. We have a lot of work to do.
We'll go next to Dan.
Coach, first, I'm just going to shout out the sweatshirt swag. This is for the team. I know that was a big deal last year with everyone talking about it. It's good to see him get the motto out there.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that.
Hey,
hey, J-Bomb, we're going to have to get Dan one since Dan brought it up. We got to get your size. Rich, you're too late, but Dan, we'll get you one, man.
Hey, I'll take it, man. That's some good looking stuff.
All right, we got you one. Just make sure you tell us your size.
I wanted to ask namely about the practices, and I know you mentioned going over fundamentals, but how do you kind of structure the drills, to get after it? Are there certain things that you focus on early, or are there certain things that you just kind of go in with a general sense of fundamentals?
Yeah, well, in a normal practice in the season or training camp, Indy's not that long. We have a 20-minute individual period today, followed by a 5-minute group period. So that gets a lot of time to work on fundamentals and technique. And then after that, we have a 5-minute group period. So if the wide receivers and DBs want to get together and work on something, or the O-line, D-line, or the tight ends and linebackers. So we're spending a lot of time on individual, about 25 minutes, so we can teach. Then after that, we get into more team drills. So we're going to stress those 25 minutes throughout spring and make sure that we really go hard on the fundamentals and technique. Where a lot of times, Dan, we might just have a 10-minute indie and a 5-minute group period. We're going to go a full 20 minutes with each position group.
We'll go next to Kevin.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good, Kev. What's up, man?
Nothing. So curious, day one this year compared to day one last year. Obviously, it's night and day for you, but do you guys feel like you were able to do it a little bit more today than you were last year? Or is this first day really just about, kind of getting the guys' feet wet again?
It is about getting their feet wet again. But like, just look at our offense, for example. The whole line's back, and this is year 2 in the scheme. There's a starting quarterback, where last year we didn't know who our starting quarterback was going to be. There's a starting quarterback within the scheme. Wide receivers, at this point last year, we didn't know would step up. They're back. So just watching our offense, there's a lot of guys who, it's not their first go around in the scheme. So it's different. There's a different vibe. I feel confidence. I feel the team's a lot closer. I feel the players and coaches are a lot closer, where there was last year this time we were still getting to know everybody. Ton of energy, Kev. So I'm excited for you guys to get back and see it. And you guys kind of feel the difference between the energy now versus the last time you guys were able to come live.
Go next to Andy.
Just want to ask about the tight end position. Obviously, losing Hunter, we saw a lot of Spencer Witter last year, but what has been the development of some of the younger tight ends in that room?
Yeah, well, you're right about Spence, right? I mean, you said it. He did some great things at the end of the year. Remember some of those catches he had, and he did a nice job of stepping up. So I'm excited to see where we can get him. Joey did a little bit today, which I was excited to see. We were really excited about Joey until he was hurt last year. And then the 2 young guys you're probably talking about are Charlie and Hans. I think this is a great time to see what they can do. And we're excited about that. So day one, I mean, I'm never going to judge anybody off of the first day without really playing football since, late in December. So we'll see how they progress, but I'm excited they're out there, and it definitely they're going to have to step up. Obviously, we got to replace a heck of a football player in Hunter and try to gain that production from multiple guys.
Go next to Dan.
Coach, I'm just curious about I know you mentioned the training staff and the medical staff. Is there a part of it that's kind of old hat, or is it still just weird having to go through all the protocols? Because, it's just been going on for so long. Like, does old normal feel abnormal almost when you have to go through this stuff now?
That's a good question. It probably feels more normal than it should. Wearing masks and seeing everybody spaced out. There wasn't as much, hey, put your mask on today. It was almost like guys knew their helmets were on, their masks are on, they knew where to stood. So to your point, yeah, it probably was almost normal. I mean, sadly, it's the only way we've ever really practiced since I've been here, So our huddles are spaced out more. The way we have to get water is different. So I don't really know any different, Dan. So I'm pretty fired up for the day where I don't have to tell everybody to back up and move out a little bit. So it's our guys are awesome. And again, we got to give the medical people and the training staff more credit. I failed to do that. Their job's hard, and they've put themselves at risk in everything that they've done. And us being able to practice, I mean, our players get a ton of credit, and they just deserve more credit than they've been given. And that's my fault, no one else's.
Then we'll wrap things up today with Rich.
Hey, Jeff, over the past year since I've been doing this beat, the defensive backfield has had some amazing leaders, a bunch of them still in the NFL right now. My question is Brandon Sebastian, who will be on today, is he kind of a guy that's going to step into that leadership role in that room?
I hope so. He played a lot of football. He played pretty well last year too. So I'm hoping to see him step up and become a leader. I've noticed that from him. Coach Azar has done a really good job of pushing those guys to do that. I've noticed him taking those steps in the offseason. I think he's taken a major step from last year in his offseason workout. So I hope so. But you bring up a good point. And I mean, you just look at Simmons and John Johnson, and you talk about 2 DBs who are really 2 of the elite guys right now in the National Football League. And the cool part is they always talk about those guys. Yeah, they're not just great players, but they are phenomenal leaders. And, I reached out to both yesterday and congratulated them, and just really happy for them. And it shows that, the Boston College guys, they come out and not only they're good players, but there's a high level of intelligence and leadership. And that's what we're trying to build here. And that's one of the reasons I love it here. And I feel fortunate about being here. So I appreciate bringing that up.
Yeah, Don Brown used to describe John Johnson as the central nervous system of the BC defense. So that's
I believe it, Rich. Anytime you're really good on defense, your safeties, when they're like that, they make it all work. I've been around some really good ones, and that's a high compliment for a player. So congrats to John and to Simmons and to Matt and Matt Milano with the Bills. Those guys just they got paid and they deserve to be. And from everything I know of them and spent time, they're awesome people. And I hope we can get them back around. And I know John's moving a little bit closer, so hopefully we can get him around to be around our players a little bit.
Jeff, I'll wrap things up for today. Thank you for your time.
All right, guys, have a great weekend.